What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. You're watching the daily series of Nwadei MMA, and today we're going to be recapping One Championship's Friday Night Fights 22. Now, you know, guys, I haven't done one of these One Championship videos in a while. Let me know if you actually like these One Championship videos, or if you feel like I'm just wasting my time. Let me know, because I think One Championship is great and all, but I want you guys to also enjoy what I post and the content that I post. So if you do like One Championship, then please go ahead and subscribe so I have more people who like watching One Championship. Or if you are already subscribed, let me know in the comments down below. Or if you don't like One Championship, or maybe you haven't seen One Championship, please stick around to watch the rest of this video. If you don't know a lot about One Championship, that's okay, because we might be the only channel recapping them in the world. So One Championship, they like to do these Friday night fights. All of their fights are on Friday. However, once a month they'll do something on Amazon Prime to where it's free to everyone. Matter of fact, all their events are free to everyone. The Friday night fights are streamed on YouTube. Amazon Prime events are obviously streamed on Amazon Prime. However, if you have that, it goes along with it, no additions, you know. So you're not paying pay-per-view for any of their events. And guys, One Championship showcases the best striking, the best grappling, maybe the second best, I'll say the second best MMA, but in the lower weight divisions, the best MMA in the world. So you're getting some of the best fights for absolutely free. Guys, if you're not taking advantage of this, if you are just now getting into MMA, or you're just now starting to hear or watch the UFC and things like that, I suggest that you do watch One Championship as well. And if you want a way to follow along with these One Championship events, then I'm your guy. So if this sounds like something that's good for you or good to you, then go ahead and drop a like on this video, and you're more than welcome to subscribe to Nwadei MMA, the daily series, where I give you my thoughts, but more importantly, ask for yours. However, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the recap of this last One Championship event. So first off, in the middleweight division, Fan Rong lost to Shamil Erdogan. Now, Fan Rong is someone I actually watched live myself. He fought against Aung Lang Song, and he was actually doing very well. He was piecing Aung Lang Song up on the feet, which is very surprising. He's a pretty good striker, but in this fight, he just never, ever got to showcase any of his skills. Erdogan ended up dominating him from bell to bell. He took him down in the first minute, held him down, and was just beating him up for the entire round. And then second round came, he showcased some of his striking and finished the fight. And Erdogan, I mean, he is a proper animal. I mean, this guy from bell to bell dominated Fan Rong, a guy who competed with the former One Championship middleweight champ. Aung Lang Song was the middleweight and light heavyweight champion of One Championship at the same time, double champ, if you will. However, he lost his belt to Reinier de Ridder, at least his light heavyweight belt, and has been trying to get back to the title ever since. He had a close fight with Fan Rong, however ended up getting the W over him. Fan Rong is now on a 2-fight losing streak, so who knows where he goes from here on out. I believe that he'll probably get another shot in One Championship, considering that he just has to work his way back up the ranks. However, their heavier divisions aren't the deepest, so I'm sure he can get back into that title contention within 3 or 4 more fights, if of course he's getting wins. However, Shamil Erdogan, I mean, I want to see him fight very soon. Aung Lang Song would be an awesome matchup. Reinier de Ridder would be an awesome matchup. However, Reinier might actually be having a rematch with Anatoly Malykhin, another guy who fought on this card, and we're gonna talk more about that later. But I'm very interested to see where this Erdogan guy goes from here on out. This was a middleweight fight, so I'd love to see Erdogan fight against someone like a Reinier de Ridder, who I believe is One Championship's reigning middleweight champion. However, these divisions are not very deep, guys, so they don't even list the rankings. They're still building. They're not new to mixed martial arts, but they're new to gaining depth in mixed martial arts. However, the welterweight down to even men's strawweight weight classes are pretty filled up in MMA. Another good thing about One Championship is that they have a bunch of Muay Thai and kickboxing events as well. Not only that, but also submission grappling when they have high-level competitors who want to fight. And their submission grappling rule set, if you guys are not familiar with it, actually allows the fights to be pretty exciting, considering that if you are stalling or not advancing in position, they will give you a yellow card, which docks your pay and gives an advantage to the other person in case it goes to a decision. However, the next fight I want to talk about is Akram Hamdi got the win over Nwadei Muay Thai. Guys, by the way, if you see some similar names on here, it is because that some of these Thai fighters who compete in Muay Thai actually take the names of their gyms after they are pretty much adopted by those gyms themselves. They raise money for their families and they give their families better lives, but in return they actually adopt the name of their gym as their last name. That's why one of the most famous ones, Roteng Jimwon-young, is from the Jimwon-young gym. That's not actually his last name. However, Akram got a very decisive knockout victory in the second round. That one was pretty exciting. However, one that I'm maybe more excited about or more stoked to talk about is Eddie Abasolo taking on Sittichai Pinong. Now, Sittichai is one of the best kickboxers in the world, Muay Thai fighters in the world. Just strikers, pure striking. If we're talking about striking, you have to mention Sittichai's name in there. Very, very exciting fights with Chingiz Alazov, the current kickboxing champion for one championship in the featherweight division, I believe. Anyways, long story short, he is an absolute legend in Muay Thai and kickboxing, and his featherweight Muay Thai fight with Eddie Abasolo, one of America's top Muay Thai prospects. Eddie Abasolo did not have a ranking by his name. Sittichai has recently just lost the belt, so he is ranked number 2. This was a barn burner of a fight, absolute, just all out Muay Thai, art of 8 limbs, beautiful fight to watch. I mean, spinning elbows, double elbows, returning elbows, every elbow you can name was probably thrown in this fight. This is an amazing fight to watch. If you have not seen any of the fights and don't plan on watching any of the fights, there's 3 I'll have you go watch after this video is done. First one is this one, Sittichai versus Eddie Abasolo. If you're not a fan of Muay Thai, you will be after this fight. The next fight I want to talk about is Nico Carrillo. He got the win over Muangthai. The elbow zombie is what they call that guy. He's just a guy who likes walking forward, smashing elbows into opponents. He counters with a lot of elbows. One of his most famous ones is when he just does a pull counter into an elbow. Very, very ruthless fighter. Lots of forward pressure. But this Nico Carrillo guy really messed him up bad. I mean, it looked like he had a size advantage. Obviously, there's hydration tests in one, so they can't have too big of a weight advantage over their opponent. But this guy had a longer frame and pretty much just caught his kicks, kept dumping him until he got a little bit more fatigued, and then just blasted him. And I mean, like, really blasted him with shots, kicks, punches, elbows, everything that he could use to really throw this guy off of his feet. And he ended up getting the finish in round number 2. Nico Carrillo is an absolute problem. He is wanting to fight against Jonathan Haggerty in the bantamweight division of Muay Thai in one championship. Jonathan Haggerty, however, is getting called out by multiple people, even on this card, and we're going to talk about that as well later in this video. Nico Carrillo says he's the best bantamweight Muay Thai fighter on the planet. Jonathan Haggerty might have something to say about that. The next fight I want to talk about, and maybe the main event. Now, one championship does structure its cards a little bit weird, just depending on which fighters they want to promote the most. Anatoly Malykhin versus Arjan Bhullar. That was the heavyweight championship of the world, where Anatoly Malykhin was the interim heavyweight champion as well as the light heavyweight champion of the world in one championship, and he is fighting Arjan Bhullar, the current reigning unified heavyweight champion, the first ever Indian world champion. And man, Anatoly Malykhin just completely destroys him. He, from bell to bell, just murdered this man. Arjan Bhullar was dealing with an injury before this fight. That's why this fight couldn't get made sooner. However, they waited until now. Now was the perfect time. But that time off, it seems really affected Bhullar. Bhullar's a wrestler, and of course he's going against another Russian guy who also knows how to wrestle in Anatoly Malykhin. But Anatoly, you really don't want to be standing with this guy. I mean, 13 fights, 13 finishes, all by knockout or submission, obviously. The guy has serious one-punch knockout power. He's about like 5'11", just murdering dudes, running through guys. And I think that he can give the UFC heavyweight division a big run for their money. I mean, the way he's putting these guys out. Now, keep in mind, he's not USADA tested, so there might be something skeptical going on, but yeah, he's a fun guy to watch. And then in the second round, he ends up ragdolling him. He ended up beating him up so bad, getting him to the ground, that the guy, Arjan Bhullar, actually tried to run out of the ropes. Was flagged for avoiding the fight. He got a yellow card, and yes, they also do that in MMA. So if you're avoiding the fight or stalling, they will give you a yellow card, which docks your pay and notifies the judges that you've been stalling or running away. Now, he tried to run through the ropes. They kind of shoved him back in and made him get back on his back because that was the position he was kind of in, and he took the rest of his butt whooping from there on out. Anatoly then called out the Ritter, a guy who he just knocked out. Don't think the Ritter's going to be taking that fight, or if he is, the Dutch Knight. Reinier de Ridder is a prolific grappler who miserably failed to grapple Anatoly in his last matchup. However, I'm sure within a second game plan, he'll make it a much better fight. De Ridder is also the middleweight champion. He was the light heavyweight champion, but it got taken by Anatoly while he was waiting on Bhullar. Now, like I said, one championship has very exciting fights. Matter of fact, these fights were actually more exciting than the UFC fights this weekend in Jacksonville. But that could also just be because they had a bunch of kickboxing and Muay Thai fights on there as well. But the MMA fights didn't disappoint either. And now for the last two fights that I wanted to talk about. One, Sam-A Gaiyanghadao. Sam-A is an absolute legend, one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters of all time. Yeah, he got brutalized by Prajanchai. Prajanchai is also out of that Sittichai gym, the Sittichai PK gym in Bangkok, Thailand. I believe they fight out of. Prajanchai really, he never gave him a chance to get started. It was a round 2 knockout. He dominated pretty much every second of the fight, and Prajanchai, I've never watched him fight before. This was my first time watching him fight, and yeah, he looks like an absolute killer as well. I mean, for strawweight fighters to be finishing each other like this, remember that the more you go down in weight, the less likely you are to have knockout wins. But in one championship, 70% finish rate, they don't play around. Prajanchai is another man I'm going to be watching, and another guy that you should be watching. And for the last fight on this card, Superlek faced off against Nabil, I believe his name is pronounced. He's supposed to be some kid prodigy in Muay Thai. The kid was like 6'3", fighting in the flyweight division. Extremely skinny, but extremely tall and lanky as well. He ended up getting finished with a body shot. Superlek, well, he showed that he doesn't just have kicks, he has hands as well. He dove in there, he really punished this kid to the body after punishing him to the legs a little bit, and the kid he didn't want to get up, he didn't want to continue. That's what's gonna happen if you get smacked to the liver like that, especially by a guy like Superlek. I don't blame him though. It's good, get in there, get your experience, and get out, right? You don't want to spend too long in there with a guy who's probably just gonna be a lot better than you, a guy who has over 300 Muay Thai fights. Come on, it's unreasonable for this guy to be matched up like that. However, overall, guys, it was an amazing card. Super fun card to watch. Again, for a couple of fights that you should go back and watch: Arjan Bhullar versus Anatoly Malykhin, the heavyweight matchup; Eddie Abasolo versus Sittichai, featherweight matchup. Nico Carrillo is another fight you should watch against the elbow zombie Muangthai; and Prajanchai versus Sam-A Gaiyanghadao. Superlek is also a really fun guy to watch if you want to go back and watch a lot of his other fights. That's a guy that in Muay Thai and in kickboxing, one championship promotes pretty hard because he's one of the best in the world. So guys, make your pick, watch who you want to watch. But this is coming to the end of the video. Oh wait, first, Superlek also wants to fight Jonathan Haggerty, so Superlek and Nico Carrillo are gonna have to maybe duke it out to see who fights Jonathan Haggerty, the reigning Muay Thai bantamweight champion of the world. Just beat Nong-O. He's still waiting on maybe that Roteng fight. Those three are just kind of in a roulette to see who fights him next. Everyone wants that bantamweight strap. Everyone wants Jonathan Haggerty's head. But is anyone really going to get it? Or is Jonathan Haggerty going to defend against his next opponent? All will be told in due time. But guys, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for supporting my content. Let me know, please, if you guys want one championship content, or if you like this one championship content. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and you're more than welcome to subscribe and join the Nwadei MMA family. Guys, thank you again. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. As always, peace.